Does the federal government have the right to subsidize health insurance for millions of Americans? This isn't a hypothetical point. It's an urgent issue that could apply directly to 4.5 million people who are right now receiving money for health insurance from the federal government. The health care law says that government can subsidize insurance bought, quote, through an exchange established by the state. Opponents of that law went to court arguing that the language means only people who bought plans through the 16 state-run exchanges should get subsidies. And the people in the 34 states who bought their insurance through the federal exchange would lose their health care support. Today, 2 Republican-appointed judges agreed with those challenging the federal subsidies. But just a short time later, another appeals court in Virginia ruled that subsidies are allowed, which means we're at an impasse until another court, maybe the Supreme Court, decide who is right. So what's next? Joining me now is Jeffrey Rosen, President and CEO of the National Constitution Center.
What makes this case so interesting is it was really about the meaning of the statutory language. You quoted it correctly, and the thing says you can get tax credits if the exchange is created by a state. And the literal-minded reading, which the D.C. court bought, is that a federally created exchange can't get the credits. And the Virginia court and the Obama administration said, this makes no sense. Obviously, Congress intended for the individual mandates to bind individuals and employers. So it was really a triumph of hyper-literalism over the context that Congress clearly intended. And there are many decisions which say that when a technicality prevents Congress's intent from taking place, courts should defer to the agency. And that's what the Virginia court held here. The IRS said clearly Congress meant for the subsidies to go more broadly, and the courts should be deferential to that interpretation.
Now, it may go to the Supreme Court. You know the court better than most. Will Justice Roberts want to be responsible for a ruling that would take away insurance from millions of people?
Wow, that's the $60,000 question. Obviously, he cared a lot about the legitimacy of the court before and was uncomfortable with the spectacle of 5 Republicans denying health care against dissents over 4 Democrats. Given the extreme technicality of the majority decision here, I wouldn't be surprised if he agreed once again that the subsidies should go forward.
There are 14.5 million people, as you said earlier, who are getting health care because of the Affordable Care Act. And for them now to try and dismantle it and throw those people back out in the street with no coverage by this technicality is, in my view, the height of political cynicism. That is all it is, because I expect what's going to happen is that the government is going to go in and ask the whole circuit court here in D.C. to review the decision of these 3 judges. I think it will be overturned at this level and will never get up to the Supremes. But I really think that it is the height of political cynicism to say you want to take away from people a program that's working and giving them health insurance. I mean, 87% of the people who would be thrown out by this decision are receiving subsidies, which means they're poor people. They're just barely making it. And here you are taking it away from the middle class again. It's the Republicans attacking the middle class. I mean, it's the same old story.